are you? It's nice to see you in person. We were chatting.
Nice to see you
Yes.
face to face.
Nice to see you, nice to see everybody finally in person. You know, it's probably one of our very first events since the pandemic happened. So we're really happy to finally be here in person with everyone.
Yeah, and I guess just for everyone else, ang sarap, diba? In person, may pagkain tayo sa harap. Hindi yung keyboard natin, yung nakikita
At
natin.
monitor.
Oh, so I'm sure it's refreshing for everyone. We're happy to be here.
Yes. Of course, I'll talk to you guys later again about your healthy habits. But first, joining us for our breakfast prep, our activity for today is Chef Ed Bugia. Aside from being a chef and partner, he's also a culinary director and consultant for several restaurants across the metro. So today he will guide us in making one of his favorite meals, and my favorite meal too. Chef Ed, come in.
Woo! Woo!
Hi guys. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Thank you Marie for the warm welcome.
you're
Yes, and as mentioned, my fellow panelists and I are going to be doing a cooking demo today. Diba? So a live cooking demo after how many years now for everyone as we talk about healthy habits, right? And what we are doing today is one of my favorites. We are making a very healthy, who wants to guess, with our ingredients here in front of us.
Huhulaan ko lang, Chef.
Sige, medyo mahirap.
Feeling ko lang, avo toast to.
Yes, we are making avocado toast today. No, ayan, meron tayong avocados. Yeah.
Yes, but before we start, of course, I have to ask my question. How do you guys incorporate a healthy habit in your life?
Ooh, how do we incorporate a healthy habit in our life? I think it starts with a routine. So, maybe like 2 years ago or like a year ago, parang it came to a point na, I'm so sluggish, I don't know what to do, work hasn't started yet. How do I push through with my day? So we really had to come up with a plan and set our day and what we had to do. And that started with sleeping early, waking up early, and continuing with the rest of the day healthily.
I guess to add on to what Megan said, living a healthy lifestyle for us, at least as a couple, really starts in the morning because that sets you up for how you feel for the rest of the day. So in the morning pa lang, we try to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. And that starts with maybe a nice cup of coffee, relaxing. Of course, making sure that the food you eat for breakfast is very good, like workout, and that sets us up for a really good day most of the time. And of course, it helps to supplement with really good stuff like Redoxon.
Chef, I'd like to hear what you do.
As a chef, there are a lot of occupational hazards, no? So sometimes we have to eat lechon. No? So parang, diba? Hirap. So we have to balance it out. So the following day, you have to live a healthy lifestyle still. So pagka nag-dinner ka ng lechon, mag-salad ka naman the following day. Or, again, our favorite, avo toast, of course.
Speaking of avo toast, Chef, get started with what we're doing here today. And actually, Megan and I were talking about it earlier.
The avocados.
Yes. How can you tell if it's ready? Because a lot of us open our avocados, and I'm sure a lot of you. How do you know it's ready, Chef?
We talked about this earlier. The thing is about fruits, no? Fruits, you have to smell them. You can actually smell the bottom portion of your fruits. If they smell a bit sweet, no, that's almost ripe already. But avocados don't smell like anything, no? If you try, kahit na-amoy mo yun, walang mangyayari dyan. Huwag naman lemon.
Ito ba yung
Lemon na lang.
No? So one tip is, you have to shake it. No? If the seed is a bit loose, that means it's already ripe.
Okay.
No? If it's not that loose yet, but if the flesh is a bit soft, no, that's already good to go. Honestly, 50-50. Most avocados in Manila, you open them up, if they're green, they're soft enough, that's good to go. Okay, I'll be honest, it's really tough. Sometimes most restaurants, to maintain the quality and consistency of avocados, we get them frozen. People say, oh, frozen, that's not as fresh anymore. A lot of fruits and vegetables are flash frozen. Now, when you say flash frozen, within a few seconds, they're frozen already. So all of the nutrients and the vitamins are all sealed inside. Okay, so don't worry, when it's frozen, you just have to look at who froze it. No, mamaya saan lang yun. No, so if it's a trusted brand, no, go for it. No, so that's one of the things that you have to look at.
Thank you for that tip, Chef. That's actually very, very
Now
useful.
we know, so that when we go to the grocery store, we're like, okay, maybe we need to get twice as much avocados as
Or
we
flash
usually
frozen avocados.
do. Flash frozen.
Yeah. Sorry, we're trying to figure out the induction cooker here.
Okay, maybe Shafi can take us through the process, but
Yeah.
while we wait, that whole thing was a bit stressful, like finding out the right perfect avocado.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with stress? Maya just inject that question. How do you guys deal with stress in your life?
Okay.
Ooh, how do we deal with stress? Can you, ikaw muna.
Okay, so for me,
Ikaw muna.
dealing with stress, I think, is a partnership. Because when you're actually in that mode na stress ka na, it's actually hard to like think of, okay, what do I need to do to relax? So that's where Megan comes into my life, and she's the one who reminds me, Fofo, sorry, she called me Fofo. Mikael, you need to step aside, relax, give yourself a few minutes and just breathe. And same thing I do with her. If I see that Megan is stressful and stressed, I tell her, okay, you gotta take a step back, relax, and maybe I make her a cup of coffee, maybe I make her a snack. Just give her something to help her decompress and unwind. So for us in our household, managing stress, keeping a healthy lifestyle, not only is it a routine for us, but it's also a partnership. Kasi tulungan yan. Inevitably, you will have your rough moments, you have your good days and your bad days, but with your partner, hopefully mas malesen ng konti yung bad days mo.
It's funny that when you ask me that question, how do you stop your, like keep yourself from being stressed, or how do you take the stress away? Na-stress ako thinking about it. Because I was like, ano kaya ang pakiramdam ko when I'm actually in that moment? But like Mikael mentioned, it's when I reach that point of stress and he really puts me aside and says like, hey, analyze the situation, we're gonna figure this out together. Let's figure out what we can do for the moment and then think of the long-term solution.
See guys, this is what I mean, we're so sweet together. I swear. Chef,
Yes.
how are you doing there and how do you manage stress?
I manage stress by, I know it doesn't seem like it, but I started picking up this new habit during the pandemic. No? I started doing yoga.
Ooh!
Yes,
What
I
kind of
know.
yoga?
I'm a bit flexible now. Kasi ganito lang ako eh.
Pakita mo mamaya siya.
Now I can
Gusto
move
ko
a little
makita.
bit more. Oh, that's yoga. Yeah. So yeah, it helps me manage stress. It helps me get myself centered and I get to meditate, a bit more. Because cooking in a restaurant is such a high stress environment. It's shouting, it's banging the pots and pans. It's a lot of stuff not working, and you're working with ingredients that you have no idea where it came from. Usually, kasi diba, you don't know if it's a farm my problem, sa transport my problem. So it's really stressful. So sometimes you have to, when you get home, relax, center yourself, do yoga.
I really like that. And just to add another story, I know that a lot of us were work from home for like, 2.5 years? And at first, we were all thinking, okay, wow, saya nito, okay to, I'm just at home, I'm just in my pambahay. But the thing is, having endless Zoom meetings really takes a toll. And I think a lot of us can really, people are nodding their heads. Iba rin yung feeling and iba rin yung stress ng sunod-sunod na Zoom meetings. Parang you can't turn yourself off because you're already home. Usually before you get home and then you can turn yourself off, diba? So for me, being able to take care of yourself, even in the midst of all these new stress points for us and for us in our lives, I think it's really, really important. And being able not to have that partner, eat right, work out, have that time for yourself to step back and meditate, supplementing yourself with good things like Redoxon. I think these are all really, really important. And parang reminder lang for everyone that we have these things armed with us to help us get through these stressful moments.
And also, you're speaking about the pandemic. During the time we were in it, a lot of us got lazy, and eating healthy was difficult. Even if you're at home, you're just delivering them out, right? So that's why we're making an avocado
Avocado, kind of healthy.
today. But how did you guys stay healthy during this time?
Well, the gym was closed, so we had to look for alternatives to working out. So YouTube videos really helped us. We did kahit di kami nag-hit exercises. We tried out different things. Even with games, there were some video games where you could exercise with the game. Parang on Nintendo, you could like run, and there was like this hula hoop that you could use. So we tried a bunch of different things that could really get us motivated to work out. And then when the motivation went away, it had to be determination, di ba? So hindi ka pwedeng umasa lang sa motivation. You have to really discipline yourself and push yourself. Kahit na minsan medyo mahirap, but it's good to do things like group, kahit kasabi mo Zoom, di ba? So we tried to find out different things to do. Ikaw, how did you stay healthy?
Well, I guess another story that I have from the pandemic, I'm sure we all have so many stories. Bones and I, Megan and I, we tried out a new kind of diet. So we tried out a pescatarian diet. We took out meat, I was telling you about this backstage. And this is the first time in our lives. I'm 34 years old, Monizy is 18 years old. And
Pwede naman 25 lang.
okay. So we tried out a fish and veggie diet and it really changed the way we feel. So this really goes to show how the things that you put inside your body really change the way you feel. And it was a good time for experimentation kasi nasa bahay lang kami.
Yeah,
And that was something that we tried out.
After we took out the meat, nawala yung antok namin tuwing hapon. So we used to feel very sluggish and very tired when it came to like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. But once we took out the meat, surprisingly, our energy levels just rose. And we didn't need that afternoon nap.
Okay, well, speaking of taking out meat, this dish does not have meat. Does it have meat?
No.
I just,
This is a meatless recipe. We should start actually by
Yes.
toasting some of our sourdough already.
Okay.